Our first topic is who's going to get MVP for the NBA this year.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, I might as well go. I mean, everyone knows already from the last segment we went on how I went on a rant how LeBron is the best, and everyone already knows he's the best. I have a friend of mine, Delamar said, big Laker fan, big Kobe fan. He already knows LeBron is the greatest NBA player at the time right now. And as much as people want to say that Harden, Steph Curry, Westbrook deserve it, I know LeBron hasn't played to his potential, but he's still playing at a higher rate than most of these guys, if not higher. I mean, yeah, James Harden's beating him in one category, which is points, but you look at the field goals, he's probably taken 1,000, maybe close to 100 more field goals.
Yeah, he's leading the league.
In field goals attempts?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, and he's only beating him by 0.9 in points average a game. And he's has 5-6 more attempts a game than LeBron James. So if LeBron wanted to shoot 1 or 2 more times a game, he would easily surpass that point category that he leads in. And rebounds, assists, pretty even. Field goal percent, he hasn't beat by 4. I would actually put Steph Curry higher than LeBron, but I don't know who your nominee is, Rodney. So go ahead with that.
Well, let me first knock down the other nominees. Russell Westbrook. Well, let's go back. Anthony Davis. He was a real contender at one point. Got injured, so he's out. He's out of consideration. Next, Russell Westbrook. He's been injured and he's carried them, but their record is still low, so you can't really consider him. He's having a remarkable season. Then you move on to Harden, and he's also having a great season without Dwight Howard, but I don't think he's having a better season than my candidate, which is Steph Curry. Now, comparing Steph Curry to LeBron James, let's break down LeBron James. I mean, the beginning of the season, he was quitting on his team. There was a lot of questions as to what was going on. I mean, MVP is for the entire season, so you can't just take the last couple of months when they got Mozgov, when they got Shumpert, when they got J.R. Smith. You can't just give all that credit to LeBron James. So, like I said, in the beginning of the season, LeBron was pushing his coach, just causing a ruckus, and remarkably, they came out of that hole. So you got to give props to him for that. But when you look at Steph Curry, he's the best player on the best team with the best record. They've gone up against Harden's team. They beat him 4 times to none. And so just breaking down the stats, I believe he's first in steals. His on-off splits, when he's on the court, they're averaging 16.8 points per 100 possessions, better than its opponents when he's off the court. He's up there in threes, and other advanced metrics. I mean, what can't he do? So how it is today, if you could pick, my pick is Steph Curry.
Okay, bringing back the record. Golden State had to come back 27 points to beat Boston 2 days ago. They lost last night to the Nets. So I think, and they already lost last week to LeBron James and the Cavs at their home court. So Golden State starts dropping. Is he still a candidate? Because right now, I understand Golden State has the best record, so you got to give it to the best player. But if Golden State starts dropping down to, say, 25 losses with the other teams, is he still MVP worthy?
I think if they maintain their top seed, then I would still consider him the best player on the best team, and therefore he should get the MVP trophy. So I can't see. I mean, the Cavs are in the East, and we all know how weak it is out there. They got teams in 500 currently in the playoffs, so I don't even think you can consider them. And like I said, you got to consider the entire season. LeBron quit on like the first quarter of the season. He was out about 10 or so games at one point. So, I mean, you can't just catch up and say, oh, he's having a good couple of months. Now he's MVP, first place to get the trophy. I mean, Steph's been doing it the entire season and leading his team. So my pick is Steph Curry.
Now you say the East is weak, but Golden State lost twice to the top East team, which is the Atlanta Hawks. They just lost to LeBron and the Cavs. So how is the East weak when Golden State can't even beat those teams?
Okay, come on. Everyone knows there's more competitive teams in the West. You're not going to go with that.
But they're not beating competitive teams in the East. They barely barely beat Boston. They lost to the Nets last night. I see Golden State probably win-loss season. They're going to have 25 losses by the end of this year.
Okay. I mean, that's still good enough, I believe, to be the top 1 or 2 seed in the West, which is a tougher division and conference. So, I mean,
so if
if
Memphis gets it, we give it to Gasol?
If Memphis gets the top seed?
Yes.
If Memphis, no, Gasol hasn't played good this year.
So why is Memphis number 1 seed then? Is it Zebo?
So you're saying hypothetically, if Memphis gets the first
because
seed,
they are number 2 right now.
who would get the MVP on?
Yes.
I guess so, Zebo then. He's been out himself, so, I mean, you can't really give it to anybody on that team, can you?
Oh, I mean, you're giving it to Stephen Curry, even though Klay Thompson is there.
Well, he's played better than Thompson. He's been the better
Well, it's
player.
also,
Are you disagreeing?
it's also a system. I mean, Steve Kerr came there, gave him a new attitude, gave him a new system to work with, let him shoot free at will. I mean,
Okay. So what are you really trying to say? What are you trying to say right now?
I think Steph Curry is overrated. I mean, I guess. I don't think he's MVP.
Overrated.
Right now,
It's a smear
everyone's
campaign.
talking about LeBron James,
What?
James Harden, and then you throw Stephen Curry because the record, but I just gave you a scenario. If
No,
Memphis was the
stats.
number,
His stats.
I mean,
His stats. Shit on LeBron's and Harden.
on
man.
what part?
There's-
Which
there's-
part? Because I only see him by 0.6 in the assists, and everything else he's lower in except steals. So what other stats is he beating? Rebounds, I don't even think
I
he's
believe-
up there because they won't even show Stephen
What
Curry's
about
rebounds.
what about player efficiency?
Yeah,
Does that?
I
count for
haven't
anything?
looked. Do
He's-
you have those numbers for us today?
I believe so. I believe he's number 2 in player efficiency.
Oh, so who's number
sir.
1?
It's not
Oh,
LeBron James.
so if we're going by player efficiency, it should go to number 1, right? If that's what you're going to bring up.
No, I'm just crediting him that potential that stat for my argument. I'm saying
Okay.
he's up there. He's a great player, man.
Okay, who has number 1 this year?
All right, you're gonna make me look. All right, let me check.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't. I checked 150 players last time that Kobe wasn't in.
I'm looking for the best player. I'm just looking at his stats. I'm not looking at everybody else's stats. So
I mean,
I didn't look up.
You didn't look at
else. Let's see.
1 and 2?
Let's see.
Like who's beating
Nah,
number
I didn't
2?
want to look at that.
But you looked at LeBron
I
James?
didn't want to look at that one.
Did you look at
Nah,
LeBron James?
I didn't really say. No, I didn't look up. LeBron
So how do you
James.
know?
I didn't look up LeBron
So how do
James.
you know it wasn't LeBron number 1?
I don't want to look up LeBron James. Anyway,
Who's number 1? I want to know.
I don't know, man.
Toft, are you curious
looks
who
like
number
it's,
1
uh,
is?
Player efficiency rating: Anthony Davis,
Okay.
Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry.
Ooh,
Are you
Oh,
done?
he's
So
actually
you-
number 3.
So you were already wrong with your fact that you said he was number 2.
Rodney, you should have lied. It wasn't worth it. I would have lied if I was
Hey,
you.
they just played a game right now, so you just moved down. So
Exactly.
that's what happened.
Yeah, so he's dropping as the season progresses.
Hey, man. Anthony Davis is racking up those player efficiency on the bench. You never know what can happen right there.
Hey, I'm with you. Does he deserve it if he played healthy and his team was good? Yeah, Anthony Davis is a beast. And he looks like one too.
Yeah, he does
Oh,
with those
man.
eyebrows. It's scary.